Bled shows November's Doom continuing on their metal track, one that has started ever since 1989. This is a group that's really hybridized a lot of different elements of metal, including doom metal and death metal, and definitely one that has enjoyed a nice increase in their popularity, and it's really a steady showcase on a lot of end-of-year lists ever since the crack of the 2000s. In fact, to be perfectly honest, that was right around the time whenever November's Doom first entered into my radar. It was a band that truly kind of intrigued me as I was starting to get deeper and deeper down my metal journey. Bled really showcases and executes all of their trademark styles with a lot of grace, and this is one that really, if you're a first-time listener to November's Doom, or this is the first album of theirs that you perhaps have ever seen in your local record shop, you're not going to be disappointed. In fact, you're going to get a nice jumpstart right into what November's Doom is all about. Expect some aggressive riffing, but ones that definitely really showcase their doom element a little bit just as much as their death metal element, with more of an accentuation and a punctuation on the heavy doom-laden riffs. As far as vocals are concerned, this is certainly one that is able to split the mold between harsh and non-harsh vocals. There seems to be a little bit more of a lean toward the non-harsh on this album, with some of these songs with construction and even just in resonant tone, sometimes almost post-border on Peter Steele and the boys from Typo Negative, with one such example being The Grand Circle. Overall, this is an album that, for its 68-minute run length, can seem like a bit of a challenge for a lot of first-time listeners to this style of metal. However, for seasoned veterans, this will seem like basically a fantastic summer's gift, something that only happens every once in a while. While this is a band that has certainly maintained themselves as a little bit above the radar, as opposed to being underneath of it and kind of struggling, this is still a band that definitely needs to get more and more fans, more and more followers, and this is a band that needs to spread around just a little bit more, considering they still seem a bit underrated. This album furthers that development basically through an executed song flow from track 1 all the way to track 11 that definitely seems very well tailored and very well manifested. This is one where they definitely have always taken a very careful look at this to make sure that everything feels very strong, very connected, and not disjointed. However, with this album especially, they are definitely able to execute this, even including a track such as Scorpius, to really execute that by bridging the gap between one song and another. Something, it's little aspects like that that really can separate really good albums from other albums that are just not that great. This is one I would definitely give an 8.5 and a recommendation to, but it's an album that I unfortunately missed.